Hi and welcome to this fourth video in our series around personal independence payment. This is a video about the face-to-face assessment process which the majority of people are going to have whilst making a claim. Depending on where you live in the country, this will either be at home or in an assessment centre somewhere near you. The first thing to do before you go for your assessment is to make sure you go through the claim that you've already made. So it's always advisable to make a copy, maybe, of the evidence and the form, so you can read through it. So when you go to the centre or when the assessor meets you, you can have a good idea of what's already in your claim. The assessment should take approximately 45 minutes, depending on how much information you put in your claim, and then we'll just go through the form and check the evidence with you. At this point, if you have any further evidence, you can take it with you and maybe even just reintroduce some of the evidence you've already given them. I understand that this is quite a stressful process and people think that they're there to trip you up, but they're actually not. All they're going to do is go through the information that you've already given them, and they're very unlikely to have much knowledge on central vision loss or macular disease, as most of the assessors are former paramedics or district nurses. So actually the expert in the room is you. So this gives you the opportunity to explain your situation as someone living with macular disease and make them understand how it affects you. The way the assessment works is the same for everybody. They will take you through your PIP2 form, starting with your conditions that you've listed in the form and any medication that you take. What they're trying to do with the medication is marry it up with the condition so they fully understand the kind of support that you're getting through your doctor or consultants. They will take you through your PIP2 form, and as we know, that's split into two parts, the daily living component and the mobility component. And as I talked about in a previous video, within the daily living component, I believe that the most important descriptor is identifying signs, symbols and words, so reading. And they will test you on this. So they will test you at a distance on a Snellen's chart on the wall or in the hand if you're at home. And also they will ask you to read something from your hand using any aid or appliance that you use. So remember to take your magnifier with you if you use one. They will then take you through the rest of the tasks within the daily living component and ask you questions around them. So this gives you a real good opportunity to explain the difficulties that you have maybe in the kitchen, with burning yourself or not being able to move things from the pan onto a plate, all those kind of things, and also mixing with people, so identifying people's faces and body language and facial expressions. So after they've gone through the daily living component, they'll talk to you about the mobility component. So as we've discovered in the last video, the main one in that element is planning a journey. So this again gives you the opportunity to explain a little bit more about the difficulties you have in moving around, when you use a cane, if you use a guide dog, what level of sighted support that you require. Remember to give good explanations on how you do this, how light changes can affect you, nighttime and daytime, that sort of thing, and also obviously weather conditions. After the assessor has completed their report, they will send it back to DWP. And it is DWP who make a decision on whether or not you'll be awarded the benefit. The assessor will make recommendations, but again, I just have to stress that it is the DWP that make that decision. If you've given DWP a mobile number, they will text you to let you know that they've got all the information they need and how long it will take for them to make a decision. Generally, this is 6 to 8 weeks. Now you've done all the hard work, so it's just a case of sitting down and waiting. It can feel like an age. Actually, I can remember I've just done my PIP form and I forgot how impatient I was when waiting for a decision back from DWP. If you've got any questions about this video or the face-to-face assessment, give the Macular Society Advice and Information line a call and they will be able to answer your questions on 0300 30 30 111, or alternatively you could leave a comment below and someone will get back to you. The next and final video in this series is about the decision, so I'll see you on the next one.